Good morning. I'm Dr. Robert Rutledge, and I'm going to be talking to you this morning about the recent IFSO European conference in Barcelona that was recently held in April 2012. And most particularly, I'm going to talk to you about the first international postgraduate course on the Mini-Gastric bypass, which was held in Barcelona. I'm going to start off with a brief introduction, talking a little bit about the background and the development of the Mini-Gastric bypass, and over the next several tapes we're going to hear where we are thinking it may go from here. We're looking forward to the first international consensus conference on the Mini-Gastric bypass, and we're hoping to begin taking suggestions on when and where that should be held. Tentatively, we're thinking of either citing it around the time and location of the 2012 IFSO meeting in New Delhi, or we are considering an October location in Paris where we would have the opportunity to cite it in the country where we think the most surgeons and the most MGBs are actually being performed at the present time, and we're thinking that that might be in Paris as a possibility. I'd like to start off with two quotes that I find very inspiring as we work toward the evaluation and institution of the Mini-Gastric bypass around the world. And my first is from Margaret Mead, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And the second quote is from a journal, the Medical and Physical Journal in London, 1801. And it goes as follows: "The most important discoveries are now contemplated with indifference. Who now wonders at the discovery of America or the circulation of blood? There is, however, a period between the conception of a new discovery and its maturity that is fraught with the pangs and suffering greater than that of war or that women know. But also there is no light in which the human mind can be viewed more interesting than during this anxious period." I think that both of those quotes are applicable to the long journey of the Mini-Gastric bypass over the past 15 years, and it's exciting to see it move forward from there. It's pretty well known that the bariatric surgery world is one that's filled with change and controversy. It's a history of valiant attempts by surgeons to alleviate the pain and suffering of obesity in their patients by using surgical techniques. But even a brief summary of some of the more memorable of these operations will show that we are a long way from the ideal weight loss surgery. The list of operations that have come and gone and come and faded and come and are still present include the jejunal ileal bypass, the old Mason loop gastric bypass, the vertical banded gastroplasty, the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, the adjustable gastric band, more recently the sleeve gastrectomy, gastric plication, and of course my favorite, the Mini-Gastric bypass. Many of these procedures have been abandoned. There are many countries that have abandoned the lap band recently, and it is still clear that there is room for improvement in the therapy of obesity. While we wait for the pill or the medical therapy that will cure obesity, we still are struggling to improve the quality of our surgical procedures. The Mini-Gastric bypass was first performed in 1997, And although it's been viewed with skepticism, it has gradually and steadily gained adherence. We're going to talk this morning about the IFSO-EC Barcelona meeting, where we held the first postgraduate meeting on the mini-gastric bypass. And we'll give you some background information on that. The IFSO-EC course was designed for practicing bariatric surgeons and physicians involved in the surgical treatment of obesity and metabolic disorders. It's felt that the mini-gastric bypass is a short, simple surgery that's been shown to be extremely effective, to have excellent short and long-term weight loss, to be easily revisable, to have low initial risk and low follow-up risk, and now to have follow-up reports stretching out 10 to 15 years after operation. It's clear that the mini-gastric bypass is gaining popularity as a primary bariatric operation for the treatment of morbid obesity. By report, up to 20 or 30% of French weight loss surgery is now performed using the mini-gastric bypass technique. There are now surgeons in England, Belgium, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Germany, Italy, Spain, the United States, Mexico, Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, Taiwan, Australia, and other countries that are using the mini-gastric bypass technique. And we believe it's now time to move forward, allow these surgeons to speak, and evaluate these results in the form of public presentations at international meetings. The purpose of our course in Barcelona was to bring together European and worldwide experts to present their experience with the mini-gastric bypass and discuss their outcomes, their results, as well as technical performance tips.